BIMI by Rudyard Kipling. The orangutan in the big iron cage, lashed to the sheepen, began the discussion. The night was stiflingly hot, and as Hans Breitman and I passed him dragging our bedding to the forepeak of the steamer, he roused himself and chattered obscenely. He had been caught somewhere in the Malayan archipelago and was going to England to be exhibited at $1 a head for 4 days. He had struggled, yelled, and wrenched at the heavy iron bars of his prison without ceasing, and had nearly slain a lascar incautious enough to come within reach of the great hairy paw. "It would be well for you, mine friend, if you was a little seasick," said Hans Breitman, pausing by the cage. "You have too much ego in your cosmos." The orangutan's arm slid out negligently from between the bars. No one would have believed that it would make a sudden snake-like rush at the German's breast. The thin silk of the sleeping suit tore out. Hans stepped back unconcernedly to pluck a banana from a bunch hanging close to one of the boats. "Too much ego," said he, peeling the fruit and offering it to the caged devil, who was rending the silk to tatters. Then we laid out our bedding in the bows among the sleeping lascars to catch any breeze that the pace of the ship might give us. The sea was like smoky oil, except where it turned to fire under our forefoot and whirled back into the dark in smears of dull flame. There was a thunderstorm some miles away. We could see the glimmer of the lightning. The ship's cow, distressed by the heat and the smell of the ape-beast in the cage, lowed unhappily from time to time in exactly the same key as the lookout man at the bows answered the hourly call from the bridge. The trampling tune of the engines was very distinct, and the jarring of the ashlift as it was tipped into the sea hurt the procession of hushed noise. Hans lay down by my side and lighted a good-night cigar. This was naturally the beginning of conversation. He owned a voice as soothing as the wash of the sea and stores of experiences as vast as the sea itself, for his business in life was to wander up and down the world collecting orchids and wild beasts and ethnological specimens for German and American dealers. I watched the glowing end of his cigar wax and wane in the gloom as the sentences rose and fell, till I was nearly asleep. The orangutan, troubled by some dream of the forests of his freedom, began to yell like a soul in purgatory and to wrench madly at the bars of the cage. "If he was out now, there would not be much of us left hereabouts," said Hans lazily. "He screams good. See now how I shall tame him when he stops himself." There was a pause in the outcry, and from Hans' mouth came an imitation of a snake's hiss so perfect that I almost sprung to my feet. The sustained murderous sound ran along the deck, and the wrenching at the bars ceased. The orangutan was quaking in an ecstasy of pure terror. "Stop him," said Hans. "I learned trick in Magang Tanjung when I was collecting little monkeys for some peoples in Berlin. Everyone in der world is afraid of der monkeys except der snake. So I blaze snake against monkey, and he keep quite still. Dera was too much ego in his cosmos. Is der sole custom of monkeys. Are you asleep? Or will you listen, and I will tell a tale. You shall not pelif. There's no tale in the wide world that I can't believe," I said. "If you have learned pelif, you have learned somedings. Now I shall try your pelif good. When I was collecting dose little monkeys, was in 79 or 80 und. I was in der islands of der archipelago dera in der dark, pointed southward to New Guinea, generally Maine. God, I would sooner collect life red devils than little monkeys. When they do not bite off your thumbs, they are always dying from nostalgia, homesick for day half der imperfect soul, which is midway arrested in development and too much ego. I was dera for nearly a year. Dera I found a man was called Bertrand. He was a Frenchman, and he was a good naturalist to the bone. Day said he was an escaped convict, but he was a naturalist. Was enough for me. He would call all her life beasts from der forest. Day would come. I said he was St. Francis of Assisi in a new transmigration produced, and he laughed and said he had never preached to der fishes. He sold them for Treppengbechedema. Man who was king of beaststamer men, he had in der house shush such anoda as devil animal in der cagia. Great orangutan thought he was a man. He half found him when he was a childer orangutan gund. He was child and brother and opera comique all round to Bertrand. He had his room in house, not a cage, but a room at a bed and sheets, and he would go to bed and get up in der morning and smoke his cigar and eat his dinner mit Bertrand and walk mit him hand in hand which was most horrible hair, got I half seen beast throw himself back in his chair and laugh, when Bertrand half made fun of me. He was not a beast, he was a man, and he talked to Bertrand, and Bertrand comprehended, for I have seen dem, and he was always politeful to me, except when I talked too long to Bertrand, and say nodings at all to him, den he would pull me away, these great dark devil. Mit his enormous paws shush, as if I was a child. He was not a beast, he was a man. Dis I saw Pefor, I know him 3 months, und Bertrand, he half saw the same, and Bimmy der Orangouting half understood us, both mit his cigar between his big dog teeth, und der blue gum. I was dera a year dera und at dera oder island sometimes for monkeys and sometimes for butterflies and orchids. One time Bertrand says to me, he will be married because he has found a girl was good. And he inquire if this marrying idea was right. I would not say pecause, it was not me was going to be married. Den he go off courting der girlsh, was a half-caste French girl, very pretty. Half you got a new light for my cigar, oof, very pretty. Only I say, have you thought of Bimmy? If he pulls me away when I talk to you, what will he do to your wife? He will pull her in pieces. If I was you, Bertrand, I would gift my wife for wedding present der stuff figure of Bimmy. By time, I bad learn somedings about der monkey peoples. Shoot him, says Bertrand. He is your beast, I said. If he was mine, he would be shot now. Den I felt at der back of my neck, der fingers of Bimmy main. Good, I tell you, he talked through dose fingers. It was der defendum alphabet all complete. He slide his hairy arm round my neck, and he tilt up my chin and look into my face just to see if I understood his talk so well as he understood mine. See now, Dara, says Bertrand, and you would shoot him while he is cuddling you. Is der tootin' in great. But I knew I had made Bimmy a life's enemy, pecause his fingers half talk murder through the back of my neck. Next time I see Bimmy, Dara was a pistol in my belt, and he touch it once, and I opened a breech to show him it was loaded. He half seen der little monkeys killed in der woods, and he understood. So Bertrand, he was married, and he forgot clean about Bimmy. Was skippin' alone on the beach mit der half of a human soul in his belly. I was see him skip, and he took a big bow and thrashed der sand till he half made a great hole like a grave. So I says to Bertrand, for any sakes, kill Bimmy, he is mad mit der jealousy. Bertrand half said he is not mad at all, he half obey and love my wife, and if she speaks he will get her slippers. And he looked at his wife across der room. She was a very pretty girl. Den I said to him, dost thou pretend to know monkeys, and dis beast is lashing himself mad upon der sands pecause, you do not talk to him. Shoot him when he comes to der house, for he half der light in his eyes. Means killing Bimmy come to der house. But there was no light in his eyes, it was all put away cunning, so cunning. He fetched der girl her slippers, and Bertrand turned to me and say, dost thou know him in 9 months more than I half known him in 12 years? Shall a child stab his fader? I have fed him, and he was my child. Do not speak this nonsense to my wife or to me any more. Next day Bertrand came to my house to help me make some wood cases for der specimens, and he tell me he half left his wife a little, while mit Bimmy in der garden den. I finish my cases quick, and I say, let us go to your house, and get a drink. He laugh and say, come along, dry mans. His wife was not in der garden, and Bimmy did not come when Bertrand called, and his wife did not come when he called, and he knocked at her bedroom door, and was shut tight locked. Den he looked at me, and his face was white. I broke down der door mit my shoulder, and der thatch of der roof was torn into a great hole, and der sun came in upon der floor. Have you ever seen paper in der wastebasket, or cards at whist on der table scattered? Dera was no wife. Could be seen, I tell you. Dera was noddings in room. Might be a woman. Dera was stuff on der floor, and was all I looked at to say things, and I was very sick. But Bertrand looked a little longer at what was upon the floor, and der walls, and der hole in der thatch. Den he began to laugh soft and low, and I know, and thank God. He was mad. He never cried, he never prayed. He stood still in der doorway and laughed to himself. Den he said she half locked herself in dis room, and he half torn up der thatch. Fi donk. Is so we will mend der thatch and wait for Bimmy, he will surely come. I tell you, we waited 10 days in house after der room was made into a room again, and once or twice we saw Bimmy common a little way from der woods. He was afraid pecause he half done wrong Bertrand called him, when he was come to look on the 10th day BIMI come skipping along der beach, making noises, mit a long piece of knack hair in his hands, den Bertrand laugh, and say fi donk shust, as if it was a glass broken upon der table BIMI come nearer Bertrand was honey-sweet in his voice, and laughed to himself. For 3 days he made love to BIMI because BIMI would not let himself be touched. Den BIMI come to dinner at der same table, mit us der hair on his hands, was all black thick mit. What had dried on his hands Bertrand gave him sangaree, till BIMI was drunk, and stupid den. Hans paused to puff at his cigar, and then said Roman 1 den Bertrand kill him with his hands I go for a walk upon der heach. It was Bertrand's own pisiness. When I come back der ape, he was dead Bertrand he was dying above him, but still he laughed a little low, and he was quite content. Now you know der formula of der strength of der Orangouting it is more as 7 to 1 in relation to man, but Bertrand he half killed BIMI mit such dings as got give him. Dot was der miracle. The infernal clamor in the cage recommenced. Aha, Dot, friend of ours, half still too much ego in his cosmos, be quiet thou. Hans hissed long and venomously. We could hear the great beast quaking in his cage. But why in the world didn't you help Bertrand instead of letting him be killed? I asked. My friend, said Hans, composedly stretching himself to slumber, it was not nice even to myself. Dot, I should live, after I had seen Dot room wit der hole in der thatch Bertrand, he was her husband. Good night, sleep well.